Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, a pleasure it is to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon. Now, at the outset, I have to say that our radio broadcast is down until tomorrow. Remember, I think it was last week, our transmitter was struck by lightning, and it did more damage than we initially thought. And so we are in the process of installing a new transmitter to make sure that our radio audience can hear us in the best quality broadcast possible. So our radio stream is down. We're not airing on radio today in New Providence. We are, however, still being heard by our audience in Grand Bahama. And of course, there is our Facebook audience, our YouTube audience that are not being impacted by the replacement of our damaged transmitter. So if you know anybody who enjoys listening to the show via radio and they sitting up wondering what's going on, why they can't hear, do us a favor. Give them a call. Let them know that they have to tune in either via Facebook, YouTube. What about the cable channel? That's affected by the transmitter as well? Okay, that's affected by the transmitter as well. So only way you can get us until tomorrow, hopefully the new transmitter will be up and running by tomorrow. So the only way that you can get us is via Facebook or YouTube. And that's it. So today on Wellness Wednesday, we are going to be obviously talking about health matters. This is what we do every Wednesday here. And I am calling this show today Addicted to Our Own Genocide. Addicted to Our Own Genocide. Now, if those of you out there old enough, you would have heard of genocide happening in various countries where entire populations of specific people were wiped out, whether it be by their own government or opposing forces or whatever. And we call that genocide, where you wipe out an entire race of people or a particular religious group of people, for whatever reason, you wipe out an entire grouping of people. And we call that genocide. Well, I'm calling this show today Addicted to Our Own Genocide, because we are seemingly addicted to the very things that are wiping out our entire population, or many of the people in our population. We're addicted to the things that are leading to a slow and sometimes not so slow death. We're addicted to the very things that are leading to this horrible pandemic of non-communicable disease, chronic non-communicable disease. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about why, not just here in the Bahamas, but why it seems all over the world, non-communicable diseases are wiping people out. I mean, in alarming numbers. But more than just talking about why the world is so sick and how we seem to be addicted to our own genocide, this show is going to talk about how we get out of this fix, how we get out of this mess, how we can turn the tide on this horrible pandemic. And I use the word pandemic because everybody nowadays is familiar with that word. So I dare say that the real pandemic that is plaguing the world, that we need to be so concerned about, that we're not nearly as concerned about, is non-communicable disease. 68% of deaths worldwide are on account of a non-communicable disease. And that is expected to increase by the year 2030, which is only 8 short years away, to the degree of 44 million people around the world dying from a non-communicable disease by the year 2030. 44 million people. So this is clearly something that we all need to be concerned about. Now, here in the Bahamas, we all know, we like to, even though we're a small nation, we like to be first in everything. Unfortunately, that also relates to sickness, because we have worked ourselves right up there with the larger nations of the world in terms of how sick we are as a nation. You name it, we got it. And like how Shawnee Miller-Weebo dives for that gold when she needs to, we going head first to making sure we right up there when it comes to being among the sickest nations in the world. Now, I believe in trying to be first, but this is one instance where we really don't need to be trying to be first. But here we are, addicted to our own genocide, it seems. So we're going to be talking about that today. I want you to like and share the show. Let everybody know that GPS is on the air, albeit only through Facebook or YouTube. I want you to go ahead and let everybody know to please tune in, and I need you to help us spread the word. Like I said, particularly if you know someone who only listens to us on radio, please give them a call. Let them know that we're having some technical difficulties, and we'll be back on air on radio tomorrow. But in the meantime, you can catch the show here. So I need you guys to help me spread the word by liking and sharing the show, Addicted to Our Own Genocide. So, like I said, this is definitely a problem here in the Bahamas. But we are not alone, particularly people of color, those of us with a darker hue, skin color. We especially seem to be addicted to our own genocide. And in spite of what you may have been misled to believe, it's not because of our genetic makeup. So there is no curse of dark skin that causes us to be experiencing this genocide. It's not because of the natural progression of aging. And it's not that we are bad lucked because we happen to have darker skin. No, it's cultural. It is what we have learned to do, the practices that have passed on from generation to generation, the addiction to the wrong foods or the wrong way of preparing foods that has passed on from generation to generation to generation is significantly contributing to us leading the way of this pandemic of sickness. So I want you to listen to this. I'm going to take it from here, Jason, about this addiction, this serious addiction that is plaguing us. We are, in fact, addicted to our own. I'll get it, Jason. We're, in fact, addicted to our own genocide.
We're addicted to our own genocide. And that's what makes it the greatest weapon of mass destruction. So therefore, we have 300 black people dying from heart disease every single day. As a matter of fact, more black people die every 15 days from heart disease than the total recorded number of lynchings by the NAACP. Half of all black Americans have cardiovascular disease. Half of our children are overweight, obese. Over 85% of black women are overweight, obese, according to the government. So that makes our sisters the most overweight, obese group within America. We develop more aggressive forms of cancer and die faster than other races. We're 80% more likely to become diabetic. The leading cause of death in black men ages 16 through 34 is homicide. And it is high time we stop detaching that from diet. Brothers and sisters, we lead in nearly every single negative health category, I'm sad to say. And why is that? Well, we're detached from the fact that we are what we eat. We're completely detached. We are so detached from real food that we call it rabbit food. Just as our vehicles need the proper fuel to function, so does our bodies. Real food is supposed to give us two things: macronutrients, micronutrients. Macro means big. That's protein, carbs, and fat. That's where we get our calories. The reason why we're so overweight and sick is because we're always focusing on calories. We've made an idol out of protein in this nation. Protein, protein, protein. And then carbs and fat, and you go on the diet, and the diet tells you to manipulate the calories. That's not going to get the job done. What we should focus on is the second and more critical element within food, and that's the micronutrients. Micro means small. Vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients. Those are the natural medicines that God put in plant foods that grow from earth. It's the micronutrients that will help you reverse your diabetes. It's the micronutrients that will help you reverse heart disease. It's the micronutrients that would help us to truly win the war on cancer. Micronutrients should be called medicine, but for the love of money, they don't want to say that cherries are a medicine that help to reverse heart disease. They want to extract what God put in the cherries, synthesize it, manipulate it, and attach a 20-letter long word to it, and then sell it to you. And when they do that, it becomes a poison. That's why it has all the side effects. But it wouldn't be allowed if we weren't food addicts. That's the sad reality that we must face.
Addicted to our own genocide. Now, even though that gentleman was speaking from a perspective of Black Americans, obviously that applies to us here in the Bahamas as well, which is why I chose to play the clip, because if you had taken out Americans, he could easily have said Bahamians and it would still apply. We are addicted to our own genocide. Now, for the record, let me just say at the very outset that I am not blaming you. This is not about blaming you for the choices you're making, because if you are a follower of GPS, you know that we've done shows about how the whole system is set up to keep you addicted to the genocide. It's set up to keep you sick. So whereas I'm not absolving you of all responsibility, you have to make a decision to break free of that system, but know that the system is stacked against you to keep you sick. Let's start there. Okay, so I don't want anybody to go away from the show saying Michelle is blaming me for being overweight, or Michelle was trying to blame me for diabetes, or blame me for, I mean, you do have a role to play, and you're going to learn in this show today what you can do and what we all can do to break free of that system. But understand that I realize that it is a system that is designed to keep you addicted to the genocide. So as long as we understand that, we're good. Now, you heard the gentleman in the clip very intelligently express that healing, the Bible tells you that the healing is in the herbs that grow from the earth. But mankind has decided that it's going to, as opposed to embracing, which it once did, that natural healing power of the herbs, plant-derived nutrition, mankind has decided to manipulate that, extract something out of it, take it in a lab, make some changes to it, bottle it, and then sell it back to you. And they have done, and if you didn't see last week's show, please go and watch it on Facebook. The system has done an excellent job of convincing us that the only way to go when it comes to non-communicable disease is to manage that disease and be on these synthetic medications for the rest of your life, managing the illness, as opposed to giving your body the opportunity to heal itself by giving it the nutrition that it needs. And this is fundamental for us to understand and accept that this is a system that is designed to keep you sick enough so that you can continue to feed the system financially. So as long as you're sick enough, you will be on medications to manage that sickness. And the system is designed to keep you sick long enough so that they can make a fortune from you managing that sickness. It is far more profitable for you to manage a disease over 40 years that could be reversed and solved in 3 weeks. So the system is set up to discourage you from going the route of natural healing, because the system cannot make as much money from you if you do. And make no mistake about it, this all boils down to money. Again, every time I do one of these shows, I say it, and you may get tired of hearing it, but just in case there's somebody new here who didn't hear me say this already, I'm not in any way disparaging doctors, because doctors have a role to play when it comes to healthcare, a very important role. Doctors are excellent at trauma care, excellent at surgery, where necessary, excellent at some, what do you call it, infectious diseases. Listen, they are good at that, and they save lives every day doing those three things in particular. But I dare say that when it comes to long-term chronic disease, non-communicable disease, they don't know as much as they would have you believe that they know. And a major part of that is because they have not been trained in nutrition. And unfortunately, that means that because they have not been trained in nutrition, many of them still, as of today, the 10th of August, 2022, are discouraging people from reaching to nutrition to help heal their bodies, because as far as they're concerned, nutrition can't help you. Now, they ain't telling you that their pharmaceuticals ain't helping you either. All they're doing is managing your disease. This is what is happening. So you need to, I say all that at the outset because you need to understand that. And I want you to listen throughout this show with an open mind, particularly if you are battling a non-communicable disease, a chronic disease like heart disease, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, cancer, lupus, kidney failure or kidney disease, rheumatoid arthritis, or dementia. Understand this, people. Disease is nothing more than a degeneration of the body. We call different diseases different things depending on where it's at in the body, and but degeneration is degeneration. And disease is a degeneration of the body, a breaking down of a system of the body. That's what disease is. Understand that the same way that your body degenerates when it doesn't get the nutritional support that it needs, or when there's been ongoing damage, your body is also able to regenerate, to heal itself. Once you give it the support that it needs, the nutritional building blocks that it needs, and you stop doing ongoing damage to the body, your body knows what to do to heal itself. You may be tired of hearing it if you are regular, but I ain't gonna get tired of saying it, because the system has done an excellent job at convincing the masses otherwise. And while people are listening to the system and buying into the narrative of the system, they're getting sicker and sicker and sicker until they get to the point where they die, or the system says, there's nothing more we can do for you, and they send you home to die. So if you are battling any kind of chronic, non-communicable disease, my encouragement to you today is to listen to this show with an open mind and think for yourself. Because when you're sick, you're scared and you have to do something. But what you do can determine whether or not you make it on the other side. So, again, like and share the show. Let everybody know that GPS on a Wellness Wednesday is on the air. The telephone numbers to call if you have a question: 3260271, 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line to send us a message, if you so desire, is 801-0271. 801-0271. That's the WhatsApp line to send us a message if you have a question that you'd like to ask as it relates to what we're talking about today. Let's look at a couple of your comments on Facebook. Miko says, our lifelong addictions, processed sugar shuts down the immune system. Fried food destroys the lining of the digestive system. Milk products, excessive mucus built up in the body. We have no portion control. We don't move enough or relax correctly. Okay. All right. I see people still asking about the radio. We are down on the radio today. Our transmitter is being replaced. And so you won't be able to hear us on the radio today. So please spread the word. Let everybody know you've got to come to Facebook or YouTube. Maria says, that's why Big Pharma likes vaccines. Not only can they target unhealthy folks, but the healthy ones. Sorry about that. More money for them. Yeah, pretty much this is a money game. This is all about the money, people. And again, please don't look at your doctor with a side eye and say, yeah, you're trying to kill me. Don't do that. Doctors are not bad people. They just have been trained in a bad system. And so they only know what they know, and they are treating you based on what they know. But understand that they are not the only ones who have information when it comes to healthcare, because they are trained in allopathic reductionist medicine, which is just one component of healthcare. And if you are sick with a non-communicable disease, you would be wise to listen to others as well. Open your mind to others as well. Okay. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we're going to hear from Dr. Joel Wallach. You all know who, those of you who follow GPS, you know I highly respect Dr. Joel Wallach, world-renowned naturopathic, world-renowned agricultural expert, former pathologist, and all-around interesting guy who has dedicated his life to understanding the connection between nutritional deficiencies and degeneration of the body, better known as disease. And he's going to say some shocking things. We have several clips lined up from an interview that Dr. Wallach did that we're going to play. Please like and share this show, especially if you know anybody who is battling a non-communicable chronic disease. They need to hear this. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rim fix and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Weston, Lux, fuel, track life, tough, rough racing, velocity, mud, all-terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Youngevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here on this Wellness Wednesday. Our topic today is addicted to our own genocide. Yeah, people, we are addicted to the very things that are killing us. But hopefully with the knowledge that you'll receive on this show today, you're going to break free of that addiction. The telephone numbers to call, 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272. Message us on WhatsApp at 801-0271, 801-0271. And we will respond to you there. All right. So Hasheen says, this sickness is a deliberate and very calculated by foreign influence that has and continues to control Black and melanin people because they know that drugs in any form will deactivate and shut down natural melanin production, which is the only way humans can heal and repair the body. For example, Blacks are now being misthought that sunlight is bad, when in fact it takes about 2 hours for melanin to be activated in healthy people. All right. So like and share the show. Let everybody know that we are on, albeit only on Facebook and YouTube today because we're having transmitter issues. Our transmitter is being replaced. And as soon as that is replaced, we'll be back up and running on radio. So in the meantime, the only way to hear the show is here on Facebook or YouTube. So go ahead and like and share the show. Let everybody know that they need to be tuned in to GPS on this Wellness Wednesday. All right. So why is the world so sick? Why is the Bahamas so sick? Why are heart disease and diabetes and rheumatoid arthritis and cancer and lupus and kidney failure, and I could go on and on and on and on. Dementia, also. Why is this freight train of sickness and disease out of control? Is it an accident? Is it just by chance that we find ourselves here? How is it that our grandparents and great-grandparents, even though they did not have as much as we have today, lived far healthier lives than we are living today? How is it that we are getting sicker and sicker and sicker when we have so much access, so much more access to more knowledge? Well, this is not by accident. And in this clip, Dr. Joel Wallach is going to explain why the world is so sick.
What is causing so many people to be so unhealthy? The world is sick, Doc. What's going on out there?
It's actually quite simple. The reason why we're sick is we're not giving our genes and our DNA and our RNA and our telomeres, little end caps on our chromosome, everything they need to maximize our genetic potential that the good Lord gave us. And one of the things that was really interesting to me was that God made us in His image. And I always thought as a kid, does God have hemorrhoids? Does God have heart disease? Does God have diabetes? Does God have ringing in His ears? Of course not. Yeah. And so somehow along the way we're messing things up.
But isn't the food that we eat providing us the kind of nutrition that we need?
No. Just eating well isn't enough. You have to do more than that. And the good Lord picked the Garden of Eden to put Adam in because it was the perfect place nutritionally, biochemically in the world. Now it's perfect because there were 4 rivers dumping into there. It's the first map quest. Garden of Eden was east of Eden. 4 rivers, right? The Tigris, Euphrates, Pishon, and Dishon rivers dumping in there. So that place is still there. It's the most fertile place on earth.
It's got to be.
Yeah. And so God didn't place Adam anywhere. He put him in the most fertile place where he had the best chance to be everything he could be.
Got it.
And so if you look at how minerals are distributed, minerals make up 2/3 of our 90 essential nutrients. We need 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. And whether you're a hummingbird or a human being or an elephant, any vertebrate needs those 90 essential nutrients.
Which means that God built us to need them.
Yes. There's some places on earth where they're perfect, and there's many places on earth where they're not. In other words, some gardens might have 3 minerals in it, some might have 14, some might have 25, some might have 70. The people who live in places where there's 70 are going to live longer and be healthier than the ones that have 3.
So all soil isn't the same?
Oh, no.
Well, then, if I'm buying healthy food at my local grocery store, and it looks good, and maybe even it tastes great, I don't know what soil that came from.
Exactly right. That's our problem. So just because you're eating well and eating organic doesn't mean anything when it comes to nutrition. It means nothing.
Wow. It doesn't mean that I'm going to get then all of what, not what my body might need to have. You're saying what my body must have.
Exactly.
Okay. So, just so I don't hear myself anymore in the headphones. Okay. So just so we understand what Dr. Wallach is saying, it doesn't matter if you are eating organic. Now, organic is definitely the preferred way to go. Because what organic does mean, organic means that the foods have not been exposed to chemicals, herbicides, pesticides, etc., that can cause disease like cancer. So it is important to eat organic. Organic is definitely preferred. Okay? But understand that even if you're eating organic food, it does not mean that that organic food has all of the nutrients that your body needs. Because as he just so well explained, it depends on the soil that that food was grown in. How rich is the soil that that food is grown in, or whether or not that food was grown in soil that has been contaminated. And this is why organic is so important, because they're finding now where farmers who do not farm organically are now coming down with something called farmer's lymphoma, where they and their family members are coming down with cancer in alarming rates because they're constantly being exposed to glyphosate, which we also know to be called Roundup, which kills bugs but also kills humans because it causes cancer. So you definitely want to eat organic. Organic is far better, but don't fool yourself into believing that because you're eating organic and you're eating well, that means that you're getting all of the micronutrients that your body needs. This is a mistake to believe that. You must supplement in this day and age because the soils have been so compromised and so depleted over the years of the minerals and nutrients that the foods that we are eating today do not have the same nutritional value as the foods that, say, my grandparents ate. So this is why supplementation is extremely important. Now, and you heard Dr. Wallach explain that there are some places on Earth where the soil is in a far better state as it relates to the mineral content, nutritional content, than other places. Well, we know that the Bahamas does not have the richest soil in the world. We know that. So we are very, very limited, not only in terms of what we can grow, but in the quality of what we grow as it relates to the nutritional content, because we don't have the best soil in the world. There are other nations in the Caribbean, for instance, that have far better quality of soil than we do. But we have to work with what we have. Now, there is a way to put nutrients back into the soil. We have a great product called Bloomin' Minerals that actually will, once you spray it into the soil or pour it into the soil, will actually replenish that soil with nutrients. And whatever grows from that, the yield is much greater. The taste is much greater. It's remarkable. I actually have a video. I don't know if I could find it quickly. I could search for it on my computer. But I have a video of my pastor, which was filmed by his wife. They use Bloomin' Minerals in their home garden. And I have a video. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. I have a video of their yield of cassava after using the Bloomin' Minerals. And the cassava was so heavy that, I mean, he had a difficult time lifting it up. And matter of fact, one leg of the cassava, I don't know if that's the right terminology, was longer than his leg. One root of the cassava grew longer than his leg. So there is a way, and I'm looking for the video as we speak. Let's see if I can upload it if I find it. There is a way to replenish the earth, the soil of what it has lost over the years. And if you are a person who is into backyard farming, then I highly recommend that you do find a way to replenish the soil so that you are getting a healthier version of what you know, so that the food that you're eating is a healthy version, has lots of nutrients to make sure that your body is getting all of the nutrition that it needs. Now, that being said, you need to understand that the way that nutrients are formulated are very, very important in terms of your body's ability to absorb those nutrients. If the nutrients are made from minerals in their raw state, you must understand that your body was not designed to absorb minerals in their raw state. So you may not be getting out of that what you think you're getting out of it, because it's not about what's on the label. It's about whether or not your body can absorb that. And if it's a situation where you are consuming minerals that were formulated from, you're consuming vitamins or minerals from a source that is the mineral in its raw state, then your body can't absorb that. So you need to educate yourself about what nutritional supplements you are taking, because not all supplements are created equal. And you want to make sure that you're taking a supplement that you definitely are getting from it as much as your body can, that the absorbability rate is high. And that means that it has to be plant derived, because that's the way that we were designed. We were designed to live from plant food, not rocks. So you got to be wise to understand that if you're not eating plant derived food, then you are not absorbing as much as you think you are from that food. And it's not about what you take. It's not about what's on the label, but it's about how much your body can absorb of that. So this is important to understand. So realize that not all nutrients, not all supplements are created equal. And another thing you need to be aware of is the fact that a lot of the big pharma companies have gone into the quote unquote vitamin making business. So many of the products that you're buying over the counter, especially, really don't have the nutritional value that you think they do, because they were made from minerals in their raw state by big pharma companies. They figure if they can't get you one way, they can get you the other. And so a lot of people right now are spending quite a bit of money buying nutrition over the counter, and unfortunately not getting very much from it because their body can't absorb it because of the way that it was formulated. Now, why is this important? This is important because mineral deficiencies will lead to a degeneration of the body. If you are not getting adequate nutrition, I can guarantee you that it's only a matter of time before something breaks, before something goes wrong in your body that is going to require attention. Because at the root of most, if not all, disease is nutritional deficiencies. That's where it starts. And again, the whole idea of what we do is we try to ensure that people understand that you have to be able to get the most from what you are taking as it relates to your nutrition in order for your body to perform at its best. So this is so important that you make sure that the nutrition that you're taking is plant derived and good quality, so that you're not just wasting your time, because the mineral deficiencies, the nutritional deficiencies are what are leading to disease. And our approach has always been to, as opposed to just treating or managing illness, our approach has always been to help people to reverse or regenerate, help their bodies to regenerate and thereby reverse disease. And we have seen remarkable results using that approach, going to the source of the problem and giving the body the nutrients it needs to address that at the source, and then getting out of the way so that the body can do what it needs to do on its own. I've seen this time and time again work, where people who have conditions that they're being told they could never be rid of and you can only manage for the rest of your life, man, we get people started on the right nutritional program. And the next thing you know, the doctor is standing there scratching his head saying, this must be a miracle from God. Well, I honestly believe in the power of God to perform miracles without a doubt. But I also believe in the power of nutrition. And I also know that if you give your body what it needs, Many of you who are praying for healing, all you really need is nutrition and the knowledge to stop doing the damage to the body. You do those two things, get out of the way, let your body do the work that it knows how to do, and you would be shocked at how quickly your body will fix itself. So again, I want you to watch this show, listen to this show with an open mind, understand that your body can heal, that your body wants to heal, that your body is trying to heal, but we just have to give it what it needs to heal. That's the bottom line. We got to give it what it needs. Until we do, we need to just get used to being sick, because that's what it's all about. It's all about understanding the connection between nutritional deficiencies and disease. So here now is Dr. Wallach again talking about why it's so important to pay attention to mineral deficiencies.
Up until a certain period of time, the universal fuel in the world was wood. We burned wood for heat and cooking and so forth. And there was stuff left over. We call them ashes. And we would take these really minerals that the tree had sucked up out of the ground and didn't burn when you burned the wood. We'd throw them in the garden. And these wood ashes were our source of nutritional mineral supplementation.
Wow.
Now at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, it all changed. It was in a heartbeat, it all went away. A guy by the name of Thomas Edison pulled the switch in the first commercial electric generating plant. And people liked electricity.
Sure they did.
What happened here was within 10 years, everybody in the industrialized world converted from wood as the universal fuel to electricity. Well, here comes the ultimate question. How many wood ashes are left over every morning when you fuel your house with electricity?
Zero.
Zero. And what did we replace that traditional source of nutritional mineral supplementation with? Nothing.
Then what is happening absent these required nutrients that we're supposed to have? Is that why our bodies are breaking down? Is that why we're not healing naturally the way that, I mean, am I getting it?
You got it. We're not designed to have heart disease. We're not designed to have diabetes. We're not designed to have arthritis. We're not designed to have Alzheimer's disease. We're not designed to have periodontal disease and low thyroid. And we have these things because these nutrients are missing in our food now.
You said it exactly as I read it in the Bible, that He made us in His likeness and His image. He didn't make us to be broken down, right? He didn't make us to be sick. He didn't make us to be depleted of the ability to do all of these things that He created us to do.
And that is a key point for you to understand. I often hear people say, people who are sick and have been sick for a while and have not been given the right information about how they can be well again. And I often hear people say, well, if it's God's will, if it's God's will. I don't ever remember reading anywhere in the Bible where it says, beloved, I wish above all things that you would be sick and die. Beloved, I wish above all things that you would suffer through sickness and die. I remember reading that nowhere. And I know, there's a lot in the Bible I really discover yet. And if you see that someplace, please let me know where to find that scripture. It's always His will for you to be healed. But it just doesn't happen sometimes. And it doesn't happen sometimes because we have taken the wrong dog to the hunt. We have taken the wrong approach to healing. Now, don't get me wrong. We all have to die. We all will die. Without a doubt. That's one road we all can go down. Okay? But we don't have to run the race to get to that date. And some of us trying to outrun Shawnee Miller-Weeble to get to that appointment with death, we speeding it up because of what we're doing to our bodies. Plain and simple. A lot of people have died very young who didn't have to. Simply because they didn't have the correct information about the nutrition that their bodies needed. Simple as that. I have a message here from Terry. Terry says, It is a fact that we are what we eat. My daddy has lived to 100 years, and his sister, my aunt, is 103 years old. They are not sick; they are well and have outlived their patients by 5 years. I've watched them all my life, and I've studied them very closely. And I must admit that, coupled with how they eat and supplementing, as you're outlining, is their strong belief in God and their very, very positive attitudes. Yes, mindset is a very big deal as well when it comes to being well and maintaining long, good, healthy life. But definitely a major part of it is nutrition, good, healthy nutrition, and not doing damage to the body. Cayetano says, my question is, how can an individual find if their body is lacking nutrients, macro and micro? For example, do we go to a nutritionist and they conduct the test, or do we go to a regular family doctor and the family doctor will refer certain blood tests to test for iron, vitamin A, B, vitamin D, folate, potassium, magnesium, etc.? Well, if you're not supplementing, you're vitamin deficient. Bottom line. And different diseases occur because everybody's different. So what I specifically need would be different from what you specifically need, because my body is different. I may be getting a certain amount of nutrients in one area, but lacking in another. You, on the other hand, may be getting more nutrients in that area, but lacking in another. So our approach is very individualized. We conduct what we call a health evaluation. And in this health evaluation, we ask you to answer 4 sets of 20 questions. And those 4 sets of 20 questions tie back to the 4 categories of disease. So what Dr. Wallach discovered at a very early age is that nutritional deficiencies lead to degeneration, which is also known as disease. And there are over, I think he said, 900 diseases that are a direct result of nutritional deficiency. We've been told that they are a result of aging, natural aging, or they're a result of genetics or bad luck. And truth be told, you just need nutrients and stop doing the damage. But they all fall into one of 4 categories. So what our health evaluation does is you answer, and you do it online, and I'll try to remember to put the link to the health evaluation. I'll pin it to the top of my official Facebook page that you may be watching this show on right now. But Hasheen says, too much to explain in the test. Well, listen, it is what it is. Either you want the help or you don't. You know, you don't walk into a doctor's office and when they ask you a bunch of questions, you say, there's too much things to answer. So I don't understand that attitude. But the bottom line is, it's just questions that you answer about the symptoms that you're experiencing. Simple. Do you have high blood pressure? From 0 to 5, rate yourself. It's as simple as that. Ain't no test you got to take that you got to go study. It's all about the symptoms that you are experiencing. You answer those questions, and the answers serve as a roadmap for us to understand what specific nutritional deficiencies you are facing. And then we make recommendations based on your specific results. Now, Dr. Wallach teaches us that there's something that is universal to everyone, and that's the 90 nutrients you would have heard him talk about. The 60 minerals, the 16 vitamins, the 12 amino acids, the 3 essential fatty acids. All vertebrate need those 90 essential nutrients just to maintain good health, just to maintain optimal levels of health. That's what the body needs. So we start there. And a lot of people are guilty of what we call fractionated nutrition. What does that mean? They go out and they make sure they get their B complex. They might take some D. Nowadays everybody is all zinc crazy because of, the virus that's been going around. So everybody now on the zinc run. They may be taking some vitamin C. They may be on, whatever. And so they're taking about 10 and they think they're doing good. I take my vitamins every day. How many vitamins and minerals are you taking? 10. That's a good start. But you're missing another 80. So this is what we call fractionated nutrition, right? So, and it's impossible to get it all in your food alone. The amount of greens, for instance, that you would have to eat to get adequate amounts of magnesium, you'd have to eat so much of that just to get the adequate amount. So this is why you have to supplement in measured amounts. So there are some minerals, for instance, called trace minerals. And they're called trace minerals because you need such a small amount of them, but you still need them. So if you don't get adequate amounts of that trace mineral, it still will lead to a degeneration of the body. So what we offer you is the 90 nutrients, what gives you the measured amount of the nutrients that your body needs to give you those 90 nutrients. That's the foundation. That's where we start. And then depending on what situation you face, that may be all you need. But depending on your health, you may need more. So we build on top of that based on what your health evaluation results tell us. So that's to answer your question, how we know what nutrients a body needs. It is very, very simple to do. And from my experience, very, very accurate. We're able to look at that and say, ask specific questions and get answers that really help to guide us into what you should be doing specifically for your body. Because what you need is different from what I need, is different from what my producer needs. We all have very specific needs. Emma, I see the question you're asking. After the show, I'm going to pin the link to the health evaluation on the top of the Facebook page that you're watching it on now, on my official Facebook page. I promised to do that last week, Wednesday, but I forgot. So I can do it. I can make sure I do that. I can pin the link to the top of the page where you can go, click on the link, fill out the health evaluation. And if that's too much to do, then hey, it's on you. But it's a very simple process. And the reason why we're asking those 4 sets of questions, because each of those 4 sets of questions, correlate to one of the 4 categories of the disease. And those 4 categories of disease are the hard tissue category. So that means that all of the hard tissues of your body, your bones, your joints, your ligaments, your cartilage, your teeth, your nails, etc., they all fall under one category. The second category is the soft tissues. So your brain, your heart, your eyes, your lungs, your skin, your organs, they all fall under the soft tissue category. And then you've got blood sugar imbalances, and then you've got digestive disorders. Those are the 4 categories of disease. And your symptoms are just your body's way of telling you that there's some degeneration going on in one or more of those categories. So all we do is look at the symptoms, ask some questions, make sure we're on the right track, and then we just make recommendations based on the signals that your body is giving you. And when I tell you the results are miraculous, they truly are. So yes, God is in the miracle working business, but he often uses mankind to get it done. And in the case of your health, he uses the knowledge of utilizing the system that he put in place for health. Healing is in the herbs. That's what the Bible tells you. And if your body, if you go to a funeral, they say dust to dust, ashes to ashes. If our body is nothing more than a dirt suit, then it makes sense to fix the dirt suit. You go back to the soil, you go back to the earth. That's just common sense to me. So Etheridge is saying, I have multiple sclerosis. What can I do to help this problem through nutrition? Again, you're going to have to take that evaluation for us, Eldridge, and I will be able to answer your question specifically. What I do is once we do that evaluation, the results are automatically sent to you, and I also receive a copy, and then we schedule a consultation time, and we go over it together, and then I make recommendations. And this is not in any way to try to replace what your medical doctor is telling you. We say that you can do them side by side, but understand that your body will start to respond to the nutrition. And we tell people, let your doctor be the one to decrease your medication and eventually take you off of it. We do not recommend people just, stop taking medication, especially for some conditions, because that could be dangerous. But I am concerned, though, that I'm hearing more and more doctors telling people you have to choose between the two. That's utter foolishness. That's foolishness. I say it all the time, believe the diagnosis, but do not believe the prognosis, because they will have you believe that your only option is to be on their synthetic medication for the rest of your life. And that is not the case. So we're going to take this quick break. On the other side, we're going to continue talking about Addicted to Our Own Genocide and what we can do to turn this thing around. On the other side, we're going to be talking about the failed medical theories that are helping to keep us in this condition. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Youngevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Youngevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
All right, welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here in your company today. I literally just posted the link to the official Facebook page. So after the show, go ahead, refresh, and then you will see the link at the top of the page of my official Michelle Malcolm Facebook page, and you can go ahead and click on that link and fill out the health evaluation. Now, it's important that you score yourself correctly when it's answering those questions about your symptoms. So on the landing page where you put your name and email address, there's a video that you can click onto on the right. That video, watch that first. That will explain to you the scoring system, because you have to score yourself from 0, which means no symptoms, to 5, which means severe. So watch that video and write down, if you have to, how to score yourself. And then once you click onto next, after you fill out that information on that page, it'll take you to the questionnaire. Now, the 4 categories questions the pages look a lot alike. So don't think that nothing is happening after you fill it out and click next. The page looks very similar, so you'll think it didn't move on, but it did. And be sure that you answer all of the questions. Otherwise, it won't let you go on to the next page, okay? If there is a symptom that it's asking about that you're not familiar with, instead of just putting a number, even though you don't know what it means, Google it if you have to, so that you understand what they're asking you, if you have or not. And if you don't have that, then put 0. If you do have it, then you know what to do. But don't just put a number, even though it may not apply to you, because the accuracy of that test depends on the accuracy of the information that you put in. So if you put in bad information, then you get wrong results, and you're really lying to yourself if you don't put in the correct information. So the test is only as good as the information that's put into it. So you really have to be very accurate and honest when answering those questions. So the telephone numbers to call: 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. And the WhatsApp line to send us a message, 8010271, 8010271. That's if you want to send us a message. Do not call the WhatsApp line, because we cannot answer the WhatsApp calls. Okay? So let's get back to the subject at hand. We're addicted to our own genocide. We're talking about how we are allowing bad culture, the way that we were raised from generation to generation, to allow us to become sick to the point where we're dying, and unfortunately being pacified. I don't even know if that's the right word, but being told that, your only option now that you have this condition is to just continue to treat it, and we keep you comfortable while your body continues to degenerate underneath the comfort. So in other words, you have a condition, and you're given something to ease the pain of that condition, but you're not given anything to stop the root cause or to address the root cause of the condition. So you're comfortable. You ain't feeling the pain no more. Your disease is managed. I hear that word all the time. Oh, I'm a well-managed diabetic. Really? You rather be a well-managed diabetic, or you rather be healed? So the medication is managing your illness, but the degeneration continues under that pacifying, under that comfort. And this is what people fail to understand. Yeah, you may not be having the pain anymore while you're taking this medication, but the degeneration that caused the pain hasn't stopped. And this is why the approach, for instance, to things like, I come across a lot of people, not just old people anymore, but a lot of people even younger and younger, who need things like knee replacement or hip replacement, because the cartilage is all gone in their knees or their hips or whatever. And they're rubbing bone to bone, and they're being told that your only option is to get a knee replacement surgery. So they put something artificial in there to replace the cartilage that your body can naturally regrow. Now, the challenge with that is, okay, so you go get this replacement surgery and it gives you comfort, but the degeneration continues throughout your body. So later on down the road, if you don't address that, you can come up with another problem because you never addressed the problem at the root cause, which is the degeneration to begin with. And so we call that failed medical theories. And it is these failed medical theories that are helping to keep people sick.
There are people watching who have given in to whatever they're facing. The doctor has given them a prognosis, and it's not a good one. And they have given in. They've become defeated because of how they feel every day. So is it possible, as we get into this interview, for people that are watching, to get their mindset that no matter where they are, no matter how bad they feel, you can help them do something about it? Am I understanding that that's what they're going to discover in this book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie?
Exactly, Damon. We're going to talk about God stuff. And what they have to appreciate is that they've been talking to people who are experts in misinformation. Every century there's been thousands of failed medical theories. Now the 20th century and the 21st century have been no different. There's thousands of failed medical theories, including saturated fat and cholesterol clogs your arteries and causes heart disease. That's a failed theory.
Sure.
None of that's true.
Right.
Cholesterol is an essential nutrient, like oxygen and water.
Wow.
We're not obese because we eat too much and lack enough exercise. We're obese because we're missing certain nutrients. It's a nutritional deficiency to be obese. And then, of course, salt is good. You know, the good Lord said, go forth and be a salt of the earth. And doctors say, don't use salt. Well, God lives forever. And doctors' average lifespan, according to their own survey in 1999, is 56. So on the salt thing, I'm going with God.
Boy,
okay.
Three examples you just gave, and I'm sure there's plenty more in this book, of what we're hearing and have accepted as the truth. It's not the truth at all. I mean,
not even close.
It's confusing.
Each year in America, medical doctors kill, injure, and infect 15 million patients in hospitals and their clinics, and they get a walk. Nobody has their license suspended, nobody goes to jail, nobody gets a parking ticket.
Gosh. Doc, this is a sobering moment for me because my father died of cancer. Prior to that, he had cardiomyopathy. They say it wasn't the...
May I? Right
please,
here?
Please.
Cardiomyopathy is a simple deficiency of a single mineral. And if they were to supplement with all 90 essential nutrients and take extra of this one mineral, we would never have another case of cardiomyopathy heart disease.
Okay, you're killing me. What's the mineral?
It's called selenium.
Selenium?
Yes.
A nutrient?
Yes.
Could have made a difference.
Oh, I could have saved your father's life, yes.
And just for the record, Dr. Wallach successfully sued the FDA 12 times. In other words, he took the FDA to court and won 12 times just to be able to say things like selenium kills cancer. You heard him talk about selenium and heart disease just now. But he has successfully taken on the FDA just to be able to inform people about how nutrition can help them fight disease. I mean, it's a shame that you gotta take them to court just to be able to get information to people. But this is what has had to happen. He has successfully sued the FDA 12 times, where he had to fight to get the right to give you information to help keep you healthy. So understand that much of the degeneration that you think is just unavoidable is not. And there's some simple things. You hear me talk about it all the time. Things like gray hair, for instance. People think that that's a natural part of aging. Well, if that's the case, how come I'm meeting 14-year-olds with gray hair? Oh, that's genetic. No, it's nutritional. If you have a head full of gray hair, you have a nutritional deficiency. And guess what? You could turn the color of your hair without dye. Just need to give the body the nutrition that it needs. And the body will start to regenerate. Hair color will come back. It's amazing. But hair color is the least of some people's worries. If you're walking around with degenerative heart disease or cancer or lupus or any other serious condition, you could care less about gray hair. But I tell people all the time that gray hair isn't just an aesthetic thing. Because some people say, I like my gray hair. I think it looks distinguished. It may look distinguished, but that means you lack in a very important nutrient, which if you do not address, will lead to something more serious than just gray hair. I'm talking something as serious as an aneurysm that could result from that particular nutritional deficiency. So understand, people, that there's no reason for your body to be breaking down, particularly at the rate that we see happening in our country and elsewhere in the world, where people younger and younger are getting diseases what used to only be attributed to older people. I have patients as young as in their early 30s. Not patients, because I'm not a doctor. I have clients. I have to be very careful with the wording that I use, because I'm not a doctor. And I'm not pretending to be one. But as an holistic health coach, I have clients who are in their early 30s who are on dialysis. Early 30s. That used to be a disease which you thought only old people used to get. Kidney failure. Now children in this country on dialysis. So that should tell you something. Much of it has to do with the poor way we are eating. We have a serious problem with obesity in this country because people are malnourished. I know it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't. Well, how they could be malnourished and be obese? I thought the obesity is because we getting too much food. Well, we might be getting too much food, but the food that we're getting ain't got no nutritional value to it. And so many of the people that you see walking around obese are actually malnourished. Big problem in this country. And every time you turn around, there's another fast food establishment being opened somewhere, which is notorious for selling foods that have little to no nutritional value. So you're getting plenty calories, your belly full, but you ain't getting no nutrients out of that. And in a short while, you hungry again because your body is constantly looking, scanning for those 90 nutrients that it knows it needs to keep you healthy. And so you go eat the fast food and your belly full and your body starts looking, wait a minute now, you just ate, but I ain't see no this, I ain't see no that, I need some of this, I need some of that. 2 hours later, you're hungry again. But you just ate, yeah, but the food you ate had very little nutritional content. And so now you're hungry again because your body, all it knows is, I need these 90 nutrients. And if it doesn't get it in the foods that you're eating, it will send you back to eat some more. So it's not that you are undisciplined. It's not that you're greedy. It's just that you're not getting nutrients that your body needs. So we're being set up, y'all. This is a setup. And in many ways, we are encouraged to be addicted to our own genocide. It's a sad reality, but it is the truth. It is the truth. And we have to break free of this if we intend to reverse this pandemic of non-communicable diseases. And we can break free. There is hope. There is hope. And if nothing else that you leave this show with today, understand that there is hope. Believe the diagnosis. Don't blame the doctor for the diagnosis. If the doctor say you got diabetes, don't say the doctor trying to put sugar on you. Doctor ain't got nothing to do with that. Doctor only telling you what is there. Don't blame the doctor for that. Believe the diagnosis. Do not believe the prognosis. Do not believe that there's nothing you can do about it except be comfortable in your sickness. That's a lie from the pit of hell. And I need you to understand that. And no, I don't have doctor in front of my name, and I don't have MD in the back of my name. And I'm not ashamed of that, because I dare say that the failed medical theories have led many to an early death. So have an open mind. Understand that there is something you can do. And we're going to talk about what that something is on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Youngevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here on this Wellness Wednesday. We are talking about addicted to our own genocide, where people are literally addicted to the very things that are helping to keep us sick and unhealthy, encouraged by the system to do so, unfortunately. The telephone numbers to call if you have a question or comment are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line to send a message, text, is 8010271. 8010271 is the WhatsApp number. All right, so let's get back at it. We're talking now about the nutrients that your body needs to heal itself. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. That's the foundation. And the main difference between what we do as holistic health coaches and what they do in the medical system is that they manage disease, whereas we encourage healing by giving the body what it needs to heal itself. So here now is a clip talking about the difference between the two.
Speaking to the people that are watching that are right now facing the darkest night of the soul. They get up every day and they're sick and they're depleted. They've stopped living the life that God designed for them to live, and they're asking, what in the world can I do? I'm facing it myself. I started feeling this pain in my joints, inflammation. I'm a young guy and I eat relatively well. I got a lot of stuff I want to do for the kingdom. And yet I'm being frozen and paralyzed by this creeping, degenerative, incurable disease that the medical establishment says that I've got to live with and medicate against the rest of my days.
Neither of those statements are correct.
Talk to me.
Okay, well, first of all, if you do have rheumatoid arthritis, it's actually caused by an infection with a bug called mycoplasma. It's very easy to kill that bug in a couple of weeks, and then in a couple of months, I can legally say support and promote maintenance and repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, sir. I've been doing this for 36 years. We do this thousands of times a day.
Doc, is this what this book is going to tell me? I mean,
Yes, sir.
people that are watching that are facing a whole host of ailments.
Yes.
You're saying there's hope.
Well, there's more than hope. The reversal of these diseases is so easy. For instance, let's take the disease that's killing us financially in America, diabetes.
Yeah.
Type 2 diabetes, which makes up 98% of the diabetic population, is a deficiency of a single mineral. I could make the United States a diabetes-free country in 2 months or less. Maybe even 2 weeks, if everybody did exactly the same thing. Blood sugar is really not the disease, it's a symptom of the disease. And so managing blood sugar, you're not getting close to dealing with the disease.
Sure.
It's kind of like when you have pain, when you have arthritis, you manage pain, the disease keeps getting worse.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
oh yeah. They put me on pills. And I asked the question, what next? I don't want to just treat what's going on. I want to get to the root and fix it. And the answers are, we are going to help manage your disease.
Because that's where the money's at. If they were to cure you in 3 weeks, they'd make $300. But if they treat you for your arthritis for 25 years, it makes $750,000.
Gosh, when you say that, I'm like, okay, how much am I spending on this book? That's going to cut my medical bills very quickly. Having access to the kind of information that could perhaps not just save my life, but save the lives of so many people around me.
Yes, your family, your pastor.
The reality is, if we keep doing what we've always been doing, we're going to stay exactly where we are.
Okay, so for the record, that interview was done a couple of years back. Dr. Wallach is now 83 years old, I think. He just celebrated a birthday a couple of weeks ago. And he discovered at a very, very young age, why is somebody calling me on my phone in the middle of my show? Why? They don't know I'm on the air, Jason? I've been on the show now from February. Why are people calling me between 2 and 4 o'clock? People, I'm on the air. Stop calling me. Can't take your call right in the middle of my show. So Dr. Wallach discovered at a very early age And you may have heard me talk about this before. Those of you who are new, this will be your first time hearing this. So at a very early age, he started to develop this condition. Now, keep in mind, he's 82 years old today. So this was a long time ago. When he was at the age of 4, I think, the condition started. And it progressively got worse year after year. And this condition, he had like muscle cramps and twitches, and he used to make uncontrollable grunting noises like a pig and outbursts. And, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. So they took him from doctor to doctor to doctor. And, back then they had even more limited knowledge than they have now. And they could not figure out what was wrong with this boy. So by the age of 9, after years of this condition getting progressively worse, his parents decided this must be a mental problem. And they were literally going to institutionalize this child. But he knew that he wasn't crazy. So he figured, I better take matters into my own hand and figure out what's going on, because these people are about to put me away. So he goes into the school library the next day and starts searching through a nurse's handbook he found in there. He don't know what he's looking for. He's just searching. And he came across cramps. He came on the C. It fell into C, cramps. And cramps was a part of the problem that he was having. And he read where cramps are a result of a deficiency of calcium. So he thought, well, I grew up, I live on a farm. I feed the animals every morning. And he remembers reading on the animal food package that it was enriched in calcium. So he thought, okay, I can try eating this calcium-enriched food to see if that could help me. So he says the next morning, he threw his Cheerios out to the chickens, and he poured some of those alfalfa pellets that were enriched in calcium in his bowl, pour some milk over them, and he starts to eat them like cereal. Within 3 days, his condition was gone. 3 days. Now, nowadays, we know what to call that condition. We call that condition Tourette's syndrome. They didn't know what it was back then. At the age of 9, he figured out a way to get rid of his Tourette's syndrome simply by taking nutrition, specifically calcium. How many of you all know that they're suffering from Tourette's? All they need is nutrition. And he said he realized then that this was a calling. This was a gift from God, because he had been to so many doctors who couldn't find any way to help him. And yet God revealed this information to him at 9 years old, that there was a connection between nutritional deficiencies and disease. So he began a journey that led him throughout his life to understand the connection between nutrition and health, or a lack of nutrition and disease. He dedicated his life to it. And that's how we got to the place of understanding the need for the 90 nutrients for your body to regenerate itself. This is after years of research, years of doing, as a pathologist, comparative autopsies on animals and humans to see what happened to their bodies. Years of research, years of work in the field as a naturopathic doctor. This is what he discovered. And so supplementation, again, is critical when it comes to you maintaining good health or reversing disease. But not all supplements are created equal. So here now is another clip with that interview with Dr. Wallach talking about the importance of supplementation.
Can this help me if I'm facing that horrible death sentence of cancer?
Of course. Cancer is a very easy disease to prevent. If you just cook your meat medium rare instead of well done, you'll reduce your risk of breast cancer, ladies, by 462%.
What?
Yeah. Let's go to 462%.
Just how I cook my meat?
Yes.
Come on, Doc.
You can reduce the risk. This is a big, large study from the University of South Carolina.
Wow.
But my doctor says cook it well done to avoid E. coli. I'd rather deal with E. coli than cancer.
What about just the simple stuff?
Arthritis.
Arthritis or people watching right now that are on Nexium and a whole host of other pills because their digestive tract is messed up and everything else that's going on in the world.
Okay, well, Nexium is the worst possible thing you can take.
Oh.
If you have reflux, it really should be called lack of acid reflux, because what happens is when you don't have enough stomach acid, your stomach environment is not sterile. Stomach acid has many, many functions, one of which is to sterilize your stomach environment. Nothing will grow in there when it's acid. Now, if you're doing things to alkalize yourself, which many people go out of their way to do, or you're avoiding salt, which is the raw material for your stomach to make acid. That's one of the bad things about avoiding salt. You don't make enough stomach acid.
Wow.
Chloride from the sodium chloride makes hydrochloric acid, okay? And so what happens is your pH gets up around 4 or 5, kind of between 1 and neutral. Yeast and bacteria will grow in there. That's about the pH of vinegar. Yeast and bacteria will grow there. So every time you eat something that has carbohydrates or sugars in it, they're going to start fermenting it immediately. You get gas, bloating, reflux.
So the issues of bloating, the issues of acid reflux, which doesn't even really exist.
Lack of acid reflux, yeah.
All could be solved if we just understood some of the basics.
Salt your food. But wait a minute, my doctor says I can't use salt because it causes high blood pressure. No, that's not true
That's
either.
exactly what the studies suggest.
Well, it's a failed medical theory. Have you heard of obesity? That's another one of those failed medical theories. Obesity is not caused by eating too much and lack of exercise.
Well, that's what they say.
That's right. But following that 100-year-old theory, we became the #1 obese nation in the world. So that theory was a failed theory because following it, adhering to that, trying to eat less, exercising more, we became the #1 obese nation in the world. So that's a failed theory. It turns out that being obese is a simple nutritional deficiency.
There are people watching that have been on that merry-go-round or roller coaster, the up and the down yo-yo effect of failed diets. And you're saying it's not just about eating right and it's not just about exercising.
No.
You've got to have nutrients infused into your body to not just tackle the issues of weight, but a whole host of diseases and sickness and stuff that people are facing.
900 different diseases can be resolved with supplementation.
You heard it. And I've seen it. Talking about, for instance, diabetes. One of my clients, a mutual friend, said to her, because she had so many different health issues, and a mutual friend said, I really don't like the direction you're going and you need to have a conversation with Michelle. So she reached out and was actually on insulin. That's the degree that her diabetes had gotten to. And she had other issues as well. So after the evaluation, we put her on the right nutrients to deal with all of her issues, including the blood sugar imbalance. So after one day, she took a picture of her reading. You know, they have the device that you can read your blood sugar levels. So she took a photograph of that and she sent that to me and she said, I take my blood sugar reading every morning and my numbers have not been this low in years. In her words, she said, one flippin' day. Couple of days later, she sent me another photo, number even lower. Couple of days later, she sent me a third picture, number even lower. She said, at this rate, my doctor is going to have to decrease my insulin. I said, this rate, your doctor is going to take you off of insulin. That's the goal. To get your body to the place where it is functioning at such a high level that you don't need to be taking all of these medications. I have come across clients who are on 10 different medications. At what point are we not going to stop and say, this ain't working? Every time you turn around, they won't put you on because they treat each symptom individually as opposed to looking at the cause. So they give you one medication for this, one medication for that, another medication for the next thing. And God help you if you got 6 or 7 or 8 different symptoms. You can get 6 or 7 or 8 different medications, and then you can need a medication to deal with all the side effects from all those medications. It never ends. It is utter madness when I come across these people. How many medications you want? And you still ain't getting no better? All you're doing is pacifying, giving yourself comfort while your body continues to degenerate? Help me make it make sense. It is madness to continue to go down that route and not stop and think, what is wrong with this picture? And if you, I hate to say it, but if you don't stop and think for yourself, don't look for them to do it for you, because they, as far as they know, they doing the right thing. Because that's how they were taught. That's what they were trained in. Eldridge just saying he was on 13 different pills. I believe you. That's what they do. And then they pump you up with all of these synthetic things that damaging your liver in the meantime, causing all these other side effects. And then you get to the point where your body is really so jacked up that they send you home and say, there's nothing more we could do for you. And they send you home to die. Instead of telling people there's nothing more we could do for you, they need to start telling people there's nothing more we could do to you. Because it's ridiculous. But this is what is happening. And it doesn't make sense. And you, as an individual, especially if you're sick, I'm not trying to tell you to become to go to Dr. Google for everything. No. But what I am saying is think. You have a brain that still works. Use it. Stop allowing people to push these failed medical theories on you that are clearly not helping you to get any better, only managing your illness. Because if you are only managing an illness, pacifying yourself to the place that you're comfortable with that illness still going on in your body, the degeneration continues. This is what people fail to understand. And I hear it all the time. Oh, I'm a well-managed this or a well-managed that. And I say to them, is that management of that disease stopping the cause of the disease? Or is it just managing the symptom that you have? Because if the degeneration continues under you being comfortable, guess what? You're setting yourself up for something else. Now, you heard Dr. Waller talk about Nexium. Years ago, before I discovered all of this information, before I became a health coach, I was suffering from acid reflux. And I thought it was a heart problem because one of the symptoms was I had this dull ache in my chest. And I thought, wow, I wonder if I'm developing a heart problem. So I decided to go get a checkup, and they ran a bunch of tests, and the doctor came back and she said, you have acid reflux. I was like, what? Yes, you have acid reflux. So what does the doctor do? She prescribes Nexium. Well, I took the Nexium for the first 3 days because I really wanted relief, because it was really bad. And then I decided to Google Nexium. And when I Googled Nexium, and this was years ago, when I Googled Nexium and I saw the side effects of Nexium, I said to myself, hell to the no. There's got to be another way I could deal with this acid reflux naturally. And so I Googled again how to become more alkaline. Now, you heard Dr. Wallach talk about the dangers of, I guess, overdoing it, trying to become alkaline too much. You got to be careful, particularly if you're dealing with acid reflux, that you don't dilute dilute might not be the right word, but doing things like drinking alkaline water while you're with a meal. That's a bad idea, because you don't want to weaken the acid in your stomach, because it's weak acid that leads to acid reflux. So you got to be wise when you're doing this. But I Googled how to become more alkaline. And I did that. I threw away the Nexium. I didn't take it beyond the 3 days, and I was able to heal even before the knowledge that I have now, that acid reflux. Well, do you know that right now in the United States, I think the case may be complete now, but that just recently, Nexium, the makers of Nexium were taken to court because they discovered that there are, I think, 9 different cancers associated with that medication. I believe that is the case, but they still prescribing it here in the Bahamas, at least. So you want to get rid of the acid reflux quick, that with something that could cause cancer? Make it make sense. But this is what we're doing. Now, a lot of doctors still have an issue with this information that I'm sharing with you today. And they'll say, y'all run there listening to that girl. She ain't know what she talking about. Well, in this last clip that I'm about to play, Dr. Wallach encountered a doctor who told him that he was talking foolishness when it comes to how to reverse a condition like glaucoma. And to make a long story short, they decided to do a wager. And that wager, somebody else calling me, y'all. Somebody else calling me on my phone. Anyhow, that wager resulted in a book called Seeing is Believing. Check this out.
Glaucoma, macular degeneration. Doctors will say, well, there's nothing we can do about it. You know, macular degeneration, you're going to go blind, nothing we can do. Well, I took a challenge from an eye doctor about 12 years ago, and there was an audience of 300 people. And the first question, my grandmother is 88 years old. She's been legally blind for 6 years with macular degeneration. Can you do anything about it? I said, well, yeah, I can get rid of that.
Wow.
This doctor jumps up in the back of him and says, Wallach, you're a liar. That's impossible. I said, okay, who are you? He said, well, I'm an eye doctor. I said, okay, I tell you what, let's have a little bit of a wager here. You give me 12 of your patients who are legally blind, 6, 8, 10 years from macular degeneration, and we'll put them on my program for, say, 90 days. If I could get half of them, if I could get 6 out of the 12 to read 20/20 in 90 days, will you apologize in public? He said, well, if you can get 2 out of 12, I'll apologize.
No doubt.
Yeah. So the next day, he brings me a true story. He brings me a box of 27 charts, and he says, pick your 12. I said, well, wait a minute. Why don't we do all 27 of them? But I just have to ask who's going to pay for all the supplements. He says, well, he'll pay for it because he wanted me to lose big.
Wow.
Okay? And so he says, I'm going to crow about you losing here if you lose. I said, that's right, but you're going to apologize publicly if I win, right? He says, okay. And we're talking about half of them, right? 27 if I could do, if I could do 15, 12 or 15 in there, you'll apologize. He says, you got it. So in 90 days, all of them could read 20/20. Only 2 of them required glasses to do it. 25 of them didn't. And he did better than I asked for, because I was expecting him to buy me a dinner and a glass of wine, you know, and stand up in the restaurant and say, I want to apologize to Dr. Wallach. But instead, he made me a CD. He told the whole story of the wager.
Wow.
And told the story of the CD. It's called Seeing is Believing.
Wow.
Seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. I've seen some things with my own eyes of persons who have been dealing with long-term chronic disease for many, many, many years. And once we get some nutrition in their bodies and they get the information that they need in terms of what not to put in their bodies, miracles. Miracles. I dare say that many of you out there are praying for a miracle. And all you got to do is break the addiction of your own genocide. You just need nutrients. And you need to stop doing the damage to the body. And then the Lord will work the miracle that you've been praying for. It's as simple as that. So I want to encourage you today to understand that your body is an incredible healing machine that can heal itself if given the opportunity to do so. And I just want you to give it a fighting chance. Give it a fighting chance. What have you got to lose? Is that a call for the show? No. Because that's the road we all have to go down. We all will eventually pass from this life into eternity. I get that. I'm not saying to you that we have, that we'll stop death. Possible. Everybody got to die. But we can definitely help to prolong your life and help you to live a healthier, more vibrant life as you age if you would just give nutrition a chance. Give your body a chance. Give your body a fighting chance. And I promise you, you will not regret that decision. I promise you. And, I've seen people regrow cartilage when they were told that that was impossible and their only option was surgery. Not true. I've seen people come off of dialysis when they were already scheduled to have a kidney replacement surgery. And doctors still in shock and can't figure out how that happened because as far as they're concerned, that's impossible. I've seen it. It is amazing what your body can do. Give it an opportunity, people. Let it do what God designed it to do. Give it a fighting chance. Let's break this addiction to our own genocide. And we can have a healthier nation at the end of the day. And instead of leading the world in disease, we can lead the world in showing them how to be well. That's my hope for this Bahama land. So that's my time. Tomorrow is Thursday, and we're going to have another thought-provoking show planned for you for tomorrow, so don't miss it. Be sure we hopefully will be back on radio by tomorrow if they get this transmitter situation sorted out. So for those of you who normally listen on radio, hopefully by tomorrow we'll be back up and running as far as the radio broadcast is concerned. All right. So thank you so much for joining us on this Wellness Wednesday here on GPS. Hope you got some information that can help you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good afternoon.